Hi, my name is Mary Ellen Collins, and I'm bringing you this poem for you today. And I want to talk about aging as a motherless daughter. And what I'm doing is emptying out the pockets of my life. So I want to talk to you about this. There comes a season in life, and in my life, where you begin emptying out your pockets, not just the pockets in your coat or your purse, but the invisible pockets that you've carried for years, the ones filled with memories, disappointments, survival habits, unanswered questions, grief, responsibility, fear, and longing. As a motherless daughter, I have carried many things for a very long time. Some of them were necessary. Some of them protected me. Some of them helped me survive. And some of them became quietly too heavy to carry into this next season of life, of my life. Aging has a way of revealing weight. First, you notice it physically. Your knees remind you that you're aging. Your energy changes. Yeah, what I love is your body asking for rest that it never did before. You realize that you can't carry everything you once carried and still walk in peace. But emotional weight reveals itself too. There comes a point where you begin asking yourself difficult questions. Why? Why am I still carrying guilt that was never mine? Why am I still learning, trying to earn love from that should have been given freely? Why am I still keeping old pain folded up in the pockets of my soul? Aging has not made me weaker. It's made me more honest. As a motherless daughter, I have spent many years carrying invisible responsibilities. I carried the burden of being fine. I carried the fear of abandonment. I carried the ache of not having someone to call when life becomes overwhelming. I carried loneliness into holidays, celebrations, illnesses, and ordinary Tuesdays. I carried loneliness. I carried grief into motherhood. I carried grief into friendships. I carried grief into ministry. I carried grief into rooms where nobody knew I was hurting. And somewhere along the way, I became so accustomed to carrying emotional weight, I forgot what it was to travel light. But aging has taught me something sacred. You cannot enter new seasons while clinging to everything from the old ones. Let me say that again. Saying it for myself so I hear it again. Aging has taught me you carry, cannot enter new seasons while clinging to everything from the old one. There are pockets that have to be emptied. I think about all the things that women carry as we grow older: regrets, expectations, broken relationships, fear of being forgotten, fear of becoming dependent, fear of losing relevance, fear that our best years are behind us. For motherless daughters, aging can bring another layer of grief. There is no mother to ask, did you go through this too? Was aging hard for you? Did menopause scare you? How did you survive loneliness? What did you learn when your body changed? How did you learn to let go? Sometimes we age without a roadmap. We become women while seriously grieving the guidance we never had. And but yet there's some unexpected wisdom that happens because you've lived through loss, you've lived through disappointment, heartbreak, and survival. You begin to realize what truly matters. You stop wasting time to try to convince people to love you. You stop chasing approval from emotionally unavailable people. You stop needing every answer and you stop carrying offenses that only poison your heart. You begin emptying your pockets one by one, one by one. And what remains becomes much more precious. Faith remains, the kind that sits and says, God is faithful. Compassion remains. We notice hurting people. We notice grief. We can see it in someone's eyes. Wisdom remains. Love remains. And grace remains. We have to be good to ourselves. It really, our aging invites us into gentleness and to acceptance. And there's something holy about learning to empty your pockets before God, to sit quietly and say, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to carry all this pain. Lord, help me travel lighter. So the older I get, the more I realize my peace is worth protecting. Sometimes some things simply belong in the pockets we empty and leave behind. And maybe there is one of the hidden gifts. Maybe that's one of the hidden gifts of aging. You finally learn to understand that life is not about how much you carry. It is about learning what is worth carrying at all. So today, as I grow older, I am emptying my pockets because I want room for what matters most now. Peace, presence, faith, purpose, healing, love, and the freedom that comes from finally laying things down. And one of the greatest dangers in this season of aging is isolation. Many women quietly withdraw, loss accumulates, children grow busy, friends move away, our health changes, life becomes smaller and quieter than we ever imagined it would. But healing was never meant to happen alone. There's something powerful about sitting in a room or even in an online gathering with women who understand all the grief and aging and loneliness and transitions and lifelong ache of mother loss as we age. Community reminds us we are still seen, we're still valuable, we're still needed, we still are becoming. So at Motherless Daughters Ministry, we have listened and we understand. There will be upcoming support groups and community circles created specifically for seniors navigating aging, grief, transitions, emotional and connections. Whether you are facing loss, enter a new season of life, caring for others as you age, or simply longing for connection, these gatherings are designed to remind you that you don't have to carry this alone, because sometimes healing begins the moment we stop pretending we're fine and allow ourselves to be supported. And perhaps that too is part of emptying the pockets of our lives. Finally, setting down the burden of carrying everything ourselves. You do not have to age alone. Come join me.